So as promised, here's what I've learned from the presentation, Preparing Your Kids for the Transition to the Real World by Grandin and Debra Moore.
Approximately 1 in every 59 children are born with autism. Albert Einstein.
Dr. Einstein had no speech until age 3. Steve Jobs, he was a loner. He brought snakes to school.
Leonardo da Vinci. This man was far advanced on the autism spectrum.
I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
This is Lloyd I AM and you're listening to Takiwātanga, Love Not Cure, Exploring Autism One Strength at a Time.
During the Autism Parenting Summit, I watched Grandin and Debra Moore present the topic, Preparing Your Kids for the Transition to the Real World. The presentation is power-packed with information and here's my take. To prepare your child for the transition to the real world, Temple and Debra have recommended that parents or carers of autistic kids should start exposing their kids to the following: daily living, personal interests, and managing anxieties. Daily living. Temple said, autistic kids should be exposed early in daily living activities. Early exposure to these activities will help build that muscle memory that will help support these kids during their transition to the real world. You can build muscle memory for these kids by letting them do simple tasks regularly. This is not a rocket science. Start small and win big. Simple tasks can be like making their own bed, tidying up their toys, or even brushing their teeth. These tasks do not have to be done perfectly so the child won't feel like he or she is doing work. In order to attain mastery, one must do simple things over and over again. And these kids will get better as they execute these tasks. You can also bring your child with you to shop for your groceries. Allow your child to help out in getting the food from the stand, and while at the counter, let the child give the money to the cashier. Another idea is you can help your child open their own bank account, or perhaps introduce commuting to him or her by visiting a nearby park or a friend using public transport. If using a public transport is overwhelming to your child, why not bring your child to a bus stop so he or she can see what a bus looks like and get familiar with a bus stop? Plan your activities in such a way so it will be a fun and enjoyable task and will not cause an overwhelm to the child. Interest and work. Interest is a feeling of curiosity that enables someone to engage in a particular activity. To know what your child's interests would be, expose your child to different potential interests like woodworking, painting, planets, or even dinosaurs. Debra said, you will never know what interests your child if you do not take that extra step to expose your child to such activities. Insider.com published an article about Walt Disney's interest in drawing when he was 7. His drawings were sold to his neighbors, and his interest to drawings helped him build his enterprise. I'm not saying that your child should follow the path of Walt Disney, but why not? What I'm saying is that personal interest can be a lifelong career too. Another example. If your child loves trains, cars, or even dinosaurs, why not bring your child to a museum of his or her interest? You can go and visit a museum as a family and make it an activity for all. Explain to your child that this will be a fun activity for the whole family, and you can also reward your child for being amazing in handling overwhelm and anxiety. As a reward, there can be an ice cream break or a visit to his or her favorite park or zoo in the coming weekends. Know what your child's interest is to make learning easy and fun. So how would you know your child's interests? Before you research potential interests for your child, you have to understand that people think differently. Some people think in pictures like Grandin, while Albert Einstein thinks in patterns and numbers. If you understand how your child thinks, you can narrow down your options of potential interest for your child. List down all potential interests for your child that you might want to explore. If your child loves art, bring him or her to an art gallery. a Saturday painting class, or maybe let the child do paper artwork. Once you have identified your child's interest, you can look for a group of people of the same interest, then let your child join that group. Being with kids of the same interest can also help in learning, build confidence, and improve social skills. Temple said, the idea of going to college or university is not for everyone. Though college or university is important, these schools are not set up for students with special needs. Know that some autistic kids may cope up with university settings while others don't. An autistic person can still be successful in life. Some owns fabrication business, a carpentry or trades business, or an art shop. This could go on and on and on. There are plenty of jobs that don't require a person to go to a university, and these jobs can work just right for your child. Remember that being successful is not because you focus on what is missing, but rather you focus on your abilities and strengths and enjoy doing what you do. Anxiety. Preparing a child for the real world can be challenging, as anxieties and overwhelm will come with it. But if you know the triggers causing these anxieties and overwhelm for your child, you can manage them beforehand so they won't come knocking at your door. Let's use the train museum as an example. Let's say your child's anxieties are triggered by a crowd and noisy place. You can manage the trigger by calling the museum reception and ask them what's the best time of the week to go there with less crowd. Explain why you were asking so they can give you the best options. Once you are set for that family visit to the museum, set that child's expectations by showing images about the museum or letting the child listen to the sound of a train horn. For extreme cases, like experiencing anxieties with sensory sensitivity, an expert's advice may be required. Temple suggests moving away from medication as much as possible and only seek lower dosage in prescription. Only resort to medication if there's a real need to do so. When meeting with a doctor, don't ask for a higher dosage of medication. Don't even ask for an increase in dosage if the effect wears off. Live through the nerve cycle because you will get through it. In summary, to prepare your child for the transition in the real life, you have to first, expose your child to daily living activities. Second, expose your child to as many potential interests as possible. And lastly, manage your child's anxiety by setting expectations. These are my take in this presentation, Preparing Your Kids for the Real World by Temple Grandin and Debra Moore.
Every Tāngata Takiwātanga or person with autism is different. If you fail with one strategy, don't stop. Keep moving forward. Always remember, for every failure you encounter, you're one step closer to your success. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, memuto te whakawahare. Let's stop judging others. Memahi tahi tato. Let's all work together. Kia kaha, kia maya. Stay strong, be brave.
Please don't forget to like and share so others can also find us. Thank you. Then, let the child join that. Temple said, autistic kids should be exposed in, or a visit to his or her favorite. List down, you're rocking the boat. A Saturday painting class, or maybe let the child do paperwork. Maybe let the child do paperwork.